What is happening, guys? This is an instant reaction to Florida State's loss 52-10 in Miami. We kept our word. It is 1:25 in the morning. I texted Jason saying, you know what? We got to keep our word. We talked about it on Tuesday night that we would have an instant reaction no matter what the score is, whoever wins, blah, blah.
Now, Logan.
Here we are.
Logan said, "Let's keep our word," because Logan's 420 miles away from the murder scene. I'm about 10 miles away from it here right now. Welcome to our instant reaction. I'm Jason Parker from WTVJ NBC6 in Miami. Logan Robinson from NoleGameDay.com.
Florida State didn't have a obviously Jason was in attendance there. I was not. This is a whole 180 from usual, and we saw a
no.
I don't think there's really any kind of bullet points to go off of. I think this is kind of a roundtable for the next 20 minutes on figuring out where Florida State is as a program, Jason. I mean, this was not competitive after the first quarter.
I will say this. And I thought maybe we should wait until Tuesday, wait for the emotions to go down, but we're going to get this out of the way right now. This was the most embarrassing loss, not just in the Florida State-Miami series, and this was more embarrassing than the 31-0 loss to open the 1988 season. This was more embarrassing than the 47-0 when we beat Miami in the 1997 season. This was the most embarrassing loss, at least in my lifetime, for Florida State. This is more embarrassing than the Louisville loss because we still don't know what this Miami team is. And let's give I will 100% give Miami credit. I will eat my crow on this one. Miami was a very good team. Derek King did very well at quarterback. He had a great job. That defense played excellent, turning the ball over and whatnot. Give Miami their credit. They played a hell of a ball game. They kicked our ass. Let's give them the 100% credit. They came out and did their job. 9 times, if that game's played 10 times, Miami wins probably at least 8 of those games. Do they win by 42 points? No. And that's why that is the most embarrassing. That's more embarrassing than losing to Louisville, to a Heisman Trophy winner, because I don't think Derek King is a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback the way Lamar Jackson was a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in 2016. The Florida State, we need to legitimately be concerned that we are going to have a 2-win season. And Logan and I talked about this on the phone. Other than Jacksonville State and I would say Duke, at this point, and things could change, we don't want to sound like alarmist here, but right now, is Florida State a 2-win team the rest of the way?
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at this whole game, I mean, Florida State, as usual, will have a drive straight off from the bat that's written by the head coach and James Blackman and Jordan Travis. That package there was able to get into the ends, or I should say red zone, and not able to create 6 points, but still you had a competitive offensive drive, and from there it was completely stalled for the rest of the game. I mean, and you never saw that for the rest of the whole entire night, which is completely shocking to me. I don't understand really what happened there. We'll get into it, but that doesn't make much of any sense to me whatsoever. When you find success on offense where you're making actually strides on first down, and you never see it for the rest of the game, and keeping the James Blackman and Jordan Travis combo package going, that's just something that is shocking. I know Coach Norvell is there, but still, you got to look back at Kenny Dillingham, that has experience with Mike Norvell. It's working 1 and 2 with him offensively, and what happened with that offensive package. I mean that's just one of the things that we can conversate about. But I mean, you look back at the defense and they're making mistakes that we've seen for years and years and years. I mean, that's something, missing assignments. The defensive line, once again, and we talked about this, the defensive line did not show up during a game where you have to try to find contain and put pressure on a quarterback that is able to do 1 and 2 things. They can throw the ball. If you really let them do, they'll literally look like a passing quarterback, which Derek King is more of a dual threat guy, but he'll look like a passing quarterback if you left him, and that's what Florida State did. And then again, he's able to run the ball, and no contain was there. And Marvin Wilson wasn't there. Corey Durden wasn't there. Robert Cooper. I mean, the whole defensive line wasn't there. But I'll go ahead and say real quick before I let Jason go. But we'll see you next year, Marvin Wilson, unless he goes. And I don't know where he's going to go, but we'll see you next year, Marvin Wilson. And we will see Tamarion Terry in 2021.
Tamarion Terry was useless in this game. He was more worried about fighting the defensive backs for the University of Miami as opposed to actually catching the ball. Marvin Wilson was clearly, that was a targeting, and he should have gotten ejected, and we will not see him for the first half against Jacksonville State next week. Miami lost another player, Jalen Phillips, to the targeting penalty as well. So it happens. That's what the college football is right now. Florida State lost this game on their first offensive drive. Miami's offense, they showed it against Louisville, and they showed it the way they scored on their first offensive drive tonight against us. We were not going to win this game by matching them touchdowns for field goals. That's the same crap we pulled in 2007 when Florida spanked us. When it was Florida scores a touchdown with Tim Tebow, we kick a field goal. Florida scores a touchdown, we kick a field goal. That's not the way it was that we would have any shot to beating Miami tonight. When we could not convert from inside, I believe it was the 2-yard line we were at one point on that drive, and we could not convert there, and we're kicking field goal to make it 7-3. That's where you knew this game was going to be lost. You knew this game was going to be lost when Miami goes down and scores a touchdown right before the end of the first quarter to get that momentum going into the second quarter and whatnot. Florida State did look good. Let's not be total alarmists. Florida State did look good to start off the second half, getting that first drive going down, scoring a touchdown there. And you thought for a second there was a glimmer of hope amongst the small contingency in Garden and Gold, amongst the 13,000 people inside Hard Rock Stadium tonight. There was a little bit of maybe, we had the choke joke in 94. Who knows? Maybe this could be the next one. But then when you're not able to capitalize from that point, not able to capitalize on Miami's turnovers. Mark Pope can't catch a ball to save his life, seemingly, for Miami, and we couldn't take advantage of that. The question at this point comes, I got to say it, and you were critical of Willie Taggart. I've been critical of Jimbo Fisher during his time and whatnot. At what point, Mike Norvell is going to get a pass for the first game because of the COVID era. He's going to get a pass for this game because he wasn't on the sideline. At what point do we have to stop giving him passes? If he's coaching this team against Notre Dame, let's be honest, Notre Dame's going to kick the hell out of us. At this rate, if that Florida State team shows up in South Bend, Notre Dame's going to kick the hell out of us on NBC. Make sure you watch that. But they're going to kick the holy hell out of us. At what point does Mike Norvell need to start to shoulder some of the responsibility for this? And I'll ask you, because you've been a Mike Norvell supporter more or less. At what point, in your opinion?
When I obviously Mike Norvell was on attendance today, and I look at Florida State, like we were just talking about, Blackman and the Jordan Travis combo was working, and we actually watched the game earlier today. I don't know, I mean, everybody in the chat and everybody, we were watching the Ole Miss game, and they had two quarterbacks that were actually able to make momentum today and actually compete in their game. And Florida State was able to do the same thing, but we never got to see that. And the second drive that they had offensively, and obviously you look at Mike Norvell and all this kind of jizzy jazz, but I mean, this is a complete crapshoot of a season, and you got the pandemic going on, no spring game, no availability of having quarterbacks out there. You've got Chubba Purdy, who has had barely any practice time. That's the only reason you didn't see him tonight against Miami, because he hasn't had a lot of PT and practice to get prepared for any kind of game. And, obviously Tate Rodemaker was thrown out there, and that was just kind of like, screw it mode. And that's something that obviously Mike Norvell had set in plans. If things go downwards and plan CD, you got throw in the youngins to let them get playing time. And what kind of shocked me, though, is seeing like Brian Robinson in there. I feel like he is a guy that shouldn't be a fourth quarter guy. He should be a second, third quarter guy if the starters aren't performing well, like a Warren Thompson or whatever. I didn't see enough of Jordan Young out there. It's just I don't know the mentality of this team, and I said it I think on this show. The Florida State's team isn't ready mentally wise for a rivalry like this, and not even a rivalry.
Did you just say mentally wise?
Yeah, mentally wise.
Okay, well, let's get this out of the way because some people in the comments are asking right here, how much have you had to drink tonight?
Dustin's in here. He's our lead writer and editor. He's saying some silly things. I've had a drink, but not even close to what it could be.
Right. Multiple people have said I sound like I'm crying. No. It's more the fact that it's currently 1:35 in the morning. I didn't know we were doing this crap. I thought we were just kidding about doing it. So that's why I'm just exhausted as hell.
I will say I was expecting not even to do this tonight, but then again, I was like thinking, you know what? All these Miami fans in the comments were expecting us to do it. So I was like, either I got to do it by myself or I got to bring Jason on board. But you know what? You got two guys here that are loyal. Jason is the number one guy that has kept his word on being on every show. So you got to give respect to Jason.
I'm literally in my bedroom right now. I got my degree. Most Miami fans don't have it, but that's actually a degree from the school when you root for it.
I love how you put the degree back there.
But you make a valid point, and this is where I think the question has to be from this point on. Florida State can't sit there and look and say, we just got dog stomped by our arch rival, the one rival we're going to play in the state of Florida this season. The question you now have to look at is, okay, what is next? You mentioned Brian Robinson, a guy we've talked about. Tate Rodemaker got a lot of run at quarterback because, I'm sorry, here's a spoiler alert for the other 9 teams we're going to play this season. Jordan Travis can't throw the ball. Jordan Travis is going to run the ball every single time. Even the Miami fans in my section were sitting there saying he's going to run the ball when he was getting first downs on running in the third quarter. They're like, that's all he does. So Jordan Travis, when he's back there, he's not going to pass. You don't have to worry about it. Load the box. That's how you're going to beat him. Just a spoiler alert. That's what's going to happen. But at what point do you start bringing these guys? Lawrence Todafali, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry. I apologize for mispronouncing his name. But he came in as running back in the second half. Like you mentioned, Brian Robinson. A lot of these youngsters came in. At what point do you get these guys run? Is it, odds are, let's just be honest, we're probably going to beat Jacksonville State. I don't want to get too cocky about it at this point because right now our team has not played. We've scored 13 points and 10 points at this point in our first 2 games. So there's no reason for us to get cocky about playing Jacksonville State. But at what point? Does it come by the North Carolina game? Does it come by the Louisville game? At what point do you start giving more younger guys the run and say, okay, this season's a wash? At what point? And Miami's now, obviously, it's going to be Miami and Clemson. That game has to be the primetime game on October 10th because that game could be one of 2 games. That game and then Clemson Notre Dame on November 7th will be for the ACC championship and see which teams will play in Charlotte and in the middle of December. But from the Florida State aspect, it has to be at what point does this season become a wash? And I know we have 9 games left. We could turn things around magically, and Florida State could somehow, in a perfect delusional world for you and I, be 9-2. It's not going to happen, but let's just say in our perfect world it could happen. But more than likely, Florida State's staring down the barrel of another losing season. At what point do you turn things over to the younger guys and give them the run?
Yeah, no, I mean, you kind of saw a little bit of that and starting in the fourth quarter, and that's something that Norvell had planned, and their whole entire game plan that I had with their coaching staff is, if things are heading sideways, fourth quarter, let the youngins go in. We even saw Tate Rodemaker in the third quarter. It wasn't a complete, it was kind of a little bit of shock to me to see Rodemaker in there, but you saw Toa Philly in there, and I will say, I mean, Webb wasn't out there. Corbin was out there, but I will say your complete back that we kind of had talked about, and we've talked about it on Noel Game Days, that your complete back is Toa Philly, but he's still a youngin', man. He is still a youngin', but he is right now your complete running back, which is crazy to think about. And that's just the case.
I'm going to throw Miami out as an example. They run Jalen Knighton, the rooster from Miami, who scored had the long touchdown reception last week against Louisville. He looked pretty good. He did have a fumble. We were able to get him to commit a fumble, so that was kind of fun. But for the most part, that's a guy who was committed to Florida State, and in the last minute changed his mind to Miami. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say it, but one of the reasons why was getting rid of Willie Taggart. That's one of the reasons why he switched to Miami. That's a guy right there who he could be in Tallahassee.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how it is. But I mean, Toa Philly still has talent, man. I mean, that's at least a positive takeaway. It is. I mean, the only things that you can really look optimistically is a few guys. You look at Toa Philly, maybe Cameron McDonald, but I still look at it as that he's facing a second team defense in Miami. I don't know. I feel like it's time, and Jason, it's time to do it right now. I mean, we have 60 people watching at 1:40 in the morning right now. Let's go and talk about
NCAA Young King says Jason's off his meds. No, I took my meds today. I took my medication. So first of all, people saying 9-2. No, I said in our delusional world, 9-2 as Florida State alumni. Yes. In our delusional, crazy world, just like Miami fans who think you're going 11-0. Well, you're not going 11-0. You're probably going to lose to Clemson. I think all the betting odds say you're going to probably lose to Clemson. No, I said at the start of the show, chances are we may not win more than 4 games this season. I'm realizing that. So all you idiots on here, I mean, I guess that you're Miami fans. That's fine. I get it. So you're morons. You're usually delusional morons. So that's fine. We'll just appreciate it. I have to be there because all these Miami fans who threatened that they were going to kick my ass on Tuesday, not one of them showed up. And I was there from 4:30 till 11:30. So I was there from 7 hours of primo come kick my ass time. I was out in the parking lot. We were doing live shots. I was in section 327. I had 3 different fans come up and say that they appreciated watching us here. One wanted to know what you were drinking tonight, and 2 they want to know what you were drinking tonight. They want to know how you were enjoying this right here. So I had fans come up. That was what he was drinking tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But it's just amazing. All these Canes fans who talk a lot of smack, but none of them came up and kicked my ass like they all said they were going to do. So. Yeah,
this YouTube live is going to turn into a Showtime/HBO. Showtime or HBO is going to pick this up in, I swear, a year or 2. This is too much good entertainment.
It was
70 viewers at 1:42 a.m.
In my section, though, because we were the only FSU fans that were in the section. And in our section of fans, the Canes fans, you could tell there was one group. The best part was the one guy who said, "It's a long trip back to Tallahassee for you, you effing white trash." To which I had to point out, I live 10 minutes away from here, dumbass. And all the Miami fans turned on him. So that was kind of awesome right there. But the Miami fans were actually, I kind of had to stay for the whole game, more or less just to piss off the Miami fans because they were sitting there. They wanted me to leave. They wanted us to leave in our group there because they wanted us to be, so they'd be like, oh, you're leaving up, blah, blah. No, we're staying because we're loyal. We're loyal idiots. So, yeah.
Well, like I said before we head into our next segment, I want to talk about the veterans at Florida State. Let's go and do it. Let's go and talk about it. I'm sure the chat will love it because this is mainly Miami fans in the chat. What's up? What's up? 70 viewers. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
Dallas Simpson, we would have kicked your ass, but security saved you, you fat F. Oh, I think I'm down.
Where is that one at? Can I pull that one up?
I'm down to 178 pounds this morning, so I wouldn't say I'm a fat F. A chubby F.
Yeah.
But yeah. Forgive him, guys. He's off that Tallahassee meth. The meth's more Polk County in Central Florida. Tallahassee doesn't really do meth, and I'm from South Florida. It's different, though. I get it. Geography is not great for Miami fans. Meth with alcohol is what you should have done. That's what Logan did. I didn't have a drop of alcohol. I had 1 Coca-Cola, so...
I just figured out how to show the comments on here. So this is fantastic.
Dallas Simpson at 143. Dallas Simpson, great name. You sound like you're white trash, but okay. We would have your ass, but security saved you, you fat F. I'm 178 pounds.
What time is that? What time?
143. Dallas Simpson. I seriously, I weigh less than Logan, so I really don't think I'm a fat F. So nice try though, Dallas. Good job. Good effort. Good effort, buddy. Good job. You have the effort of the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. Jason, you're crazy. I'm trying to, guys, but Logan said, let's do this. Logan, I'm being nice with Logan. There we go.
That's it. But we're growing, and the thing is, though, we're at 140. It's getting later in the night, but we're growing more viewers. So that's the thing. Let's pull this up. Let's get
Devin Canes Harris was one of the guys who came up. Shout out to him. We'll see you next year. I hope the La Quinta is nice. It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna start laughing too much, but let's jump into it. How do I get the questions off here? All right, beautiful.
Yeah. This is Logan's first time running it here, guys.
This is my first. Jason has ran it before. I have not run it before, but I'm gonna jump us into a segment because I want to talk about it. Let's talk about veterans, man. So,
which ones?
I want to talk about Marvin Wilson. I want to talk about Corey Durden. I want to talk about Marion Terry.
Didn't show up. James Blackman.
Talk about those three. Obviously, James Blackman is a veteran quarterback that should be expecting that the delay of game is coming, heading into off of what was it, a kickoff, and that should be expected, but it wasn't. But blah blah blah. Let's talk about James Blackman. Let's talk about Marion Terry. Let's talk about Marvin Wilson. Let's talk about Corey Durden. Some veteran guys that we're expecting to have a big season, and we'll probably see them in 2021.
Well, James Blackman, this is nothing new, and we've talked about this before. How James Blackman needed to have a big game against Georgia Tech, he didn't. How James Blackman, this was going to be an important game because of what we saw in 2019, and he has not gotten better in 2020. But the disadvantage, and this is where I will say that Willie Taggart and Jimbo Fisher and I think Mike Norvell, they've all given Florida State a disservice, is the fact that there's no other quarterback option. The other quarterback who played tonight was Jordan Travis, who's a running back, and he was used more in a wide receiver position, in a slot receiver and a running back position more than quarterback. And then when he tried to throw the ball, created that god-awful interception that Miami got. And then Tate Rodemaker, who's a true freshman. That's Florida State's option right now, quarterback. And I mean, Jeff Sims is a true freshman quarterback at Georgia Tech. We saw what he did. He was supposed to be in Tallahassee. We won't go into the details about why he left, but one of the reasons is the fact that Mike Norvell's the head coach. Let's just be honest. Let's call it what it is. That's where we're at right now. So James Blackman, as bad as James Blackman has been, there's no other option. So James Blackman will start against Jacksonville State. He'll start against Notre Dame and get dog stomped, and then he'll probably start against North Carolina. Because what other options are there? You think Tate Rodemaker should start against Notre Dame? James Blackman at least has you some option to at least give you a glimmer, a small glimmer of hope of being competitive against Notre Dame and competitive against North Carolina. Tate Rodemaker, if you start Tate Rodemaker at this point, you're a 2-9 team.
Yeah, well, right now. I mean,
Tamari and Terry.
I really don't know what the future of the starting quarterback position group is in Tallahassee. I really have no idea, because obviously you saw a lot of the Tate Rodemaker move heading into the second half. Obviously Chuba Purdy isn't at 100%, but then again, you see James Blackman has happy feet again. He gets forced to have to actually throw the ball during a drive, and he's throwing targets. But there is, let's just say it how it is. There is no quarterback play right now. There's not a solidified starter whatsoever in Tallahassee at quarterback. There is none. There is zero whatsoever, and it is a complete desperate mode on figuring out who is going to be the starting quarterback in Tallahassee for the rest of the season. There's just nothing. There's no consistent play. James Blackman still consistently has his happy feet, and he's not finding his reads. I mean, well, I would love to see film on seeing if Tamarion Terry's open. I'd like to see if Keyshawn Helton's open. And it actually would be more of a surprise that these guys aren't open, because I think they are, but maybe Blackman's not seeing it. I just find it amazing that Florida State's wide receivers couldn't find any kind of open play against Miami's defense that is, treading for depth right now on the defensive backfield right now.
No, but they're training for depth, but they also have Bubba Bolden, who is a very good safety. You have Al Blades Jr., who's very good safety. He's both of them they did their job. And this wasn't let's give Miami, like I said, let's give Miami their credit. They did their job. They kicked our ass. That they did what they were supposed to do, and they kicked our ass. To answer your question about the wide receiver, and let's throw him under the bus a little bit. Tamarion Terry and Marvin Wilson, if this is the way they were going to play, should have gone pro. Because right now, through two winnable games at the start of the season, if you said Georgia Tech and Miami were your first two games, what is Florida State's record going to be? Everyone would have said 1-1, maybe 2-0. If Florida State plays a great game, Eddie, it's 2:00 in the morning. I'm not meeting up for any beers at 2:00 in the morning. Maybe tomorrow, NFL Sunday, maybe. But right now that ain't happening. But thank you, Eddie. I appreciate the offer. But both of them should have just gone pro if this is the way they're going to play. And the fact that Florida State has scored on offense combined 23 points in their first two games against Georgia Tech and Miami, when last season we scored 31 points alone against Boise State in the opener. 46, was it 45 or 46 against Louisiana Monroe in the second game. And we've scored a combined 23 points. So offensively, it's an absolute joke. Defensively, you hit the nail on the head. The defensive line did not show up tonight. They obviously did not catch the plane down to South Florida for this game. But Marvin Wilson has been he's been a great leader off the field. I support him. I support his efforts for helping to curb social injustice, and I support those efforts of what he did. But he's been an embarrassment on the field. There's just no other way to put it. It's been an embarrassment because of what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be a leader on the field and off the field. He's been a great leader off the field. On the field, it's been an embarrassment this season.
Yeah, no, I mean that's been this is not what everybody was hyping Florida State's defensive line to be, one of the top tier, not only in the ACC, but in the whole college football atmosphere, man. I mean, heading into the season, you've got Corey Durden, you've got the whole mob. You got Corey Durden, you got Marvin Wilson, you got Robert Cooper, you got Janarius Robbins, you got Joshua Kando, blah, 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 blah. You've got that whole front coming back for another season, and there's no execution whatsoever against Georgia Tech, which is, really disappointing. Okay, you have a disappointing game against Georgia Tech. You're hoping for a bounce back against a Miami offensive line, which isn't phenomenal. I mean, it's not great whatsoever, and nothing, no push on the ball. Miami is running 4th and 3s with ease. I mean, that's something that you're not used to seeing in Tallahassee. I mean, and I will say, I think this is Odell Hagan's. This is about it for him. This is about it for him. Florida State's defensive line coach. This is getting close to cutting it. I mean, that's about it. And I understand, obviously, he's probably coaching. And Everett Dawkins talked with us the other night that, Odell Higgins doesn't stop coaching on what he does. I mean, this is the same thing that he coaches and, standing up too tall, not making pressure, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, Marvin Wilson, we saw him tonight get ejected on the game. And, man, he's just able to walk back to the sideline and no kind of talking to, not saying, that was probably a bad idea from a veteran defensive lineman for getting caught for targeting. You're going to miss the rest of the game, and you're also going to miss the Jacksonville State game, which at this point is probably going to be a game. And it's a mix of
I guess they said Panama Jack. Marvin Wilson should have went pro, but he only came back for selfish reasons, and that's to get his degree, which isn't a bad way of being selfish. No one's saying that he didn't do a bad thing by coming back. I'm saying he has not lived up. And if this is the way he's going to play, he should have just gone pro. So calm down, Panama Jack. Let's not turn on each other here. Let's turn on the Canes. Let's not turn on each other here. Brian Luciano made a good point where he talked about how the first drive Florida State came out, spreading it and played fast. And yeah, it worked. And then it seems like after that it was the same Florida State offense that we've seen essentially the last 4 seasons. So yeah, and Eddie is saying something that literally multiple Miami fans said to me. There are multiple members of the media. This is what we've talked about. When you had the assistant coaches like Mark Stoops, who was a former assistant at the University of Miami, he recruited this area. Eddie Graham recruited this area. You had assistants who recruited South Florida heavily, and that's how you got guys like Devontae Freeman. You got guys like LaMarcus Joyner. You got guys like Kelvin Benjamin. All these South Florida guys came in. Florida State has no South Florida guys. Brian Robinson was from West Palm Beach. He was the one South Florida guy from the big name of this class. They got a couple of guys from Miami Palmetto, Miami Killian, but for the most part, it was one guy from West Palm Beach. That's not going to cut it. That's not what Florida State needs. I'm sorry, Florida State got a 4-star recruit from Alabama. It's great. It's four-star recruit from Alabama. I get it. It's a great state. It's great talent, and talent is what it is. But Florida State, Eddie hit the nail on the head. When Florida State was successful during the Bowden years, Bobby Bowden was able to come in. Florida State was the one program to come into South Florida and get South Florida guys. And I'm not just talking about Miami and Fort Lauderdale. I'm talking about West Palm Beach. I'm talking about Fort Myers. Even the University of Florida wasn't doing it to the level Florida State was, and Florida State was able to succeed. Once after the national title season, after the 2014 season, when Jimbo had to take more of a role in recruiting, it became, let's recruit a national brand. Let's not recruit South Florida. That's the problem. And I'm sorry, I have a South Florida bias. I'll admit it. But if you're going to recruit the best in the state of Florida, it's in the 305, it's in the 954, and it's in the 561. That's just the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, NTA Young King, you're not funny. Renegade has not entered the transfer portal. Don't make jokes like that. It's not Renegade. Don't talk bad about Renegade.
We talked about this at the end of this game and previewing it, and I talked about it on our podcast on Hear the Spear. But I predicted this game for Florida State not to win. But I thought that Florida State was not ready mentality-wise for a rivalry game. And it kind of goes to show most certainly that that's the case. And no one is ready to kind of be an alpha dog. You're so used to seeing, and I think it's time for us to kind of stop talking about the 2013, even 12, 10, 11, 10. But going back to Telvin Smiths, LaMarcus Joyner, Semi Jernigan's, Jalen Ramsey's, going back to those kind of guys, because Florida State right now does not have an alpha dog. Marvin Wilson is not an alpha dog. Right now, your alpha dog probably on the team is probably a mix of Amari Gaynor and Travis Jay, because they make plays on the defensive side. I mean, there's somebody right now that is actually executing and is not enabling a motivation, not a momentum side of things for the defensive side of the ball. And that's something that is you have to have for Florida State defensively. There's nothing there that could create some kind of momentum to be able to have a third down stop, even a second down, a turnover or something. There's just something that is Florida State that has been struggling for the last couple of seasons, and it's going to be a problem. That's why Florida State was going to shuffle in some younger players and hope that maybe someone's going to make a play, but it's just not the case. He's got to see Joshua Griffiths in there, Quashawn Fuller. Obviously Travis Jay is a true freshman, pretty much, that's in there, but that's probably one of your best playmakers right now on defense. And he is someone that didn't even step on the field last season. Everybody, he didn't even step on the field. Amari Gaynor had a good amount of playing time last season, but right now it's not Marvin Wilson. It's not Asante Samuel Jr. It's not Jalen Lars Woodby. It's not Hampson Ashford, who we haven't even seen on the field. It is Amari Gaynor and Travis Jay on the defensive side of the ball. It's not Emmett Rice, who's a veteran linebacker. It is young guys that are stepping up and making plays, and that's probably going to have to be the step over for Florida State in order to find success throughout. I mean, this is only 2 games in, Jason. There is 9, Jason, 9 more games on Florida State's slate for the end of the season.
I know. I'll be up there for a couple of them. I know. Oh, that's fascinating. We'll talk more about this obviously on Tuesday, but I guess I'll finish up with this, and this will be my final thought on this one. Am I depressed that we lost to Miami by 42 points? Of course, I'm 100%. Am I depressed that this is the crap I'm going to have to hear for the next year living down here? Of course, 100%. My concern is more the worry for the rest of the season and what changes from here. Can Florida State turn this around? Can Florida State make this season respectable? And by that, I mean 6-5 and make it to a bowl game. That's going to be my biggest question. And we'll talk more about this, obviously, come Tuesday at a reasonable hour, not at 2 o'clock in the morning when Logan gets the bright idea, let me eat Papa John's pizza and drink beer at 2 in the morning. Let's talk about a game where we lost 42 points to our biggest rival. So it was
I will say, Jason, though, we had just went from 40 viewers to over 100 right now. We're at 102 right now, Jason. We're at like prime time 7 p.m. right now.
I'm tired, Logan. I just dealt with this crap. 7 hours being at that godforsaken their little rented stadium in Miami Gardens that they have to rent.
What is this?
What's that?
Breaking news, Jason.
They're trying to break news, though. They're sitting there trying to break news that we're trying to leave. No, I'm not Alabama State. My new HBCU is going to be Jackson State. Shout out to Deion Sanders, the new coach of Jackson State. So, but FAMU will always be the first love for the HBCUs. Sorry, Alabama State. Apologies.
What is this? No.
Go back. Little Bros always next year 5 in a row. Got to go, Little Bros. It's always next year 5 in a row. God, always tired.
This one's funny. Not listening to shit. But you guys dropped in just like
clowns. That's right. Well, I'm sorry. You'll be up and you'll get ready to serve my coffee tomorrow. So congratulations.
He said he's gonna serve your coffee tomorrow morning.
He probably will. So he'll probably serve back my groceries at Publix tomorrow, something like that.
Oh man, it's getting dirty in the chat now. It's getting now to the 2 a.m. mark. Everybody's kind of getting riled up here. 102 viewers though. Still, if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button so then it will get notified to Miami fans. But also,
Gary Capet, you get blown up by 42 points, and your best response is some tired S about a rented stadium, which is better than yours. It's a great stadium. It hosts Super Bowl and everything. It's not your stadium. You have to pay. You have to write a check. It's like a landlord. And yes, it makes it better. We actually have a stadium.
This is true.
You rent a place, just like you rented the Orange Bowl from the city of Miami. And I get it. You have a smaller campus. You don't have enough room for a stadium because you're not a real school. But anyway, you're a great academic school. You're a wonderful academic school. None of the Canes fans in here went to the University of Miami. So that's just the bottom line. It's not an insult. It's a factual statement. Gary Capet, with your icon as a picture of a car. You probably live at home with your parents. Congratulations. Who gives an F? I would give an F.
I didn't know that's what he said, but I had to get off of that real quick because of our producer.
Gary, that's great. Gary Capet, you probably still live with your parents. God bless.
Let's see.
And y'all lost in that rental place. Yes, we did. We got our ass kicked. Neither one. That's what I love about Miami kids. They're loving to rub in. Ha, we kicked your ass. Neither Logan or I have denied that Miami just kicked our ass. Neither one of us. Miami kicked our ass by 42 points. I'll say it louder for the people in the back. Miami kicked our ass by 42 points. No one here is denying it. We are saying Florida State sucks. No one here has denied that. No, it's not an excuse. It's just a fact, Lazarus. You didn't go to Miami. I went to FSU. Logan went to FSU. I got into Miami. You didn't. It's a fact. It's just a factual statement. Sorry, guys.
That's why you come to Mark Rogers TV college football and the Miami page here. That's why you do it. I mean, this is why you're here. This is what we were supposed to do. We told the chat on Tuesday night that we would take the comments that come our ways, and this is what we're doing right now. It's starting to blow up here. Oh, this one's too much vulgar, but you see Gary Capet.
Okay, I went to Miami, and you are so effing lame. Oh, I'll admit I'm lame. So, but yeah. I didn't go to Miami, says a shit fan who couldn't get into Miami. No, I got accepted into Miami, Florida, Florida State, UCF, FIU, North Carolina, Virginia, USC, Auburn, and Northwestern. But nice try, Canes fan, Duke. Is that your name's Duke? I know you didn't get into Duke. So Pinellas Kane said, loser talks about the stadium, not the asshole. We literally said the first sentence. It's okay, Pinellas Kane. You're up in Pinellas County. It's a little white trash up there. It's fine. But no, we said that they kicked our ass. It's like I feel like we're repeating ourselves because Miami fans, they're not all there. But it's fine. I get it. They're a little bit drunk. They're happy. We'll give them their moment. That's fine. But yes, we talked about this literally the first minute, third minute, fourth minute, fifth minute, sixth minute. So, okay, Pinellas Kane. Got it, buddy.
Oh, man.
What have your big stadium done for you lately? That's not even.
Is that English? Is that English?
It's not even proper English. Our stadium, it's still our stadium. It held a national championship celebration in 2014. You haven't had one of those in a while. That's what it's had, problem.
What is it? Look at this one.
Who the F cares? Has 52 nuts feel on your chin? I've never had nuts on my chin, so I couldn't tell you. Maybe you can, Mike. You might have. I don't know. I don't think Logan has.
I've never had. No, I can guarantee it. No.
So maybe you have, Mike. If you want to get in and tell us more about what it was like to have the nuts on your chin, go right ahead, Mike. We appreciate it.
Let's look at this. You'd probably give a good take on this one.
I understand why they got rid of Willie Taggart, and we've talked about this before. I feel like we're literally running around in circles now, but I feel like it's a point where you have to hold Mike Norvell to the same accountability that you're going to hold Willie Taggart to. And we've said this before, and I'll say it again. If he's 9-12 after 21 games, he needs to be fired. Which is feminine. I've said I sound like a 15-year-old girl who hasn't gone through puberty yet. I've said this before. Your logo's a duck. I sound like a girl. I get it. It's fine. It's fine. So
So to finish this off real quick, what is
But Johnny Bishop said, "Rent this D." Got it. Okay.
oh.
Johnny Bishop's probably like, bro. I told him rent this D, bro. 305, bro. 305. Whoa. What, bro? West Kendall. I guarantee you that's who Johnny Bishop's from.
Okay, I gotta throw this one on there. There's nothing wrong with this one.
Lesbian types. I do like lesbians. They're good people. LGBTQ man.
Oh, what a beautiful time. 116 viewers. Should we just do we might have 1,000 viewers by the end of the hour. I mean,
as we're taping this right now, it's 2:05 in the morning, Logan. Norvell is just as trash. Yes, I said this. Thank you. Canes fan Duke, we will agree on something. Thank you. I said that. Cancel the season because of COVID. I don't think we can actually do that, Joseph. But at this point, screw it. Let's try it.
Oh, this one's a good one. Let me throw it up there real quick. This is a grand finale.
FSU is done, and we heat it's here, the pain in your voice. It's fine, Penals Kane, but it's close. You were almost there. You're 90% of it done, so that's good. Yes. The stadium doesn't get you wins. That's true. Players do. That's true. You're a sorry-ass team. Won't win 5 games. We said that we may only win 4 games. So thank you, Penals Kane, for reiterating everything we've said so far tonight. Yeah.
Eddie, how many have I had? I have 1, 2, and then 8 out there. So 10, actually. Not too bad. I'm actually stayed on pace because I know we had an instant reaction to do. So I have a great feeling in my body right now. But I'm actually not deep as usual. Not during the Willie Taggart era. During the Willie Taggart era, this is what happened right here. So
far, one person's called me the Fresh Prince of Popeyes, which is the greatest compliment I've gotten on here. So
where is that at? It
was a little bit ago. But then somebody else says, Jason Parker, don't worry, bro. Before your 70th birthday, I'm sure 8 wins is possible. I mean, that's over 30 years away from this, so I hope so. I really do legitimately hope so. If I'm, God willing, make it to 70, then it's something to do with 8 more games.
What is this? How many did you drink during the game? I drank 8 natty ices. So this one has 5.9%. And I actually enjoyed myself. That made the game go by a lot more beautifully. And I actually watched a lot more of the hockey game. It was a good game, too.
Shout out to the Dallas Stars for keeping hockey alive.
What is this right here?
Why can't you just suck it up, admit that you were wrong? I meant that Miami is better. How's that English fat boy? I'm still less than both Mark and Dallas.
You're actually lower than me now. You're lower than me. Anyway.
But it's cool, Dallas. Whatever. Fat boy, and yeah, that's what we're going with. God, that's what it's called. Because that's the Miami mentality. Let's go with we're 3rd graders here. But so I gotta admit that you were wrong. I literally said that. I believe that was the second sentence I said. Did I not say that I was wrong in the second sentence? But that's fine. Dallas Simpson will reiterate again. I was wrong, and this is it. We're gonna say it here. All Miami fans, make sure you're listening. Is everyone listening? Okay, let's just look.
Make sure they hit the like button, though. Make sure they hit the like button before you say anything. Make sure you hit the like button.
Miami kicked our ass. I was wrong.
Did you?
We're good. Okay.
Did you predict Florida State to win this game?
I said Miami. My head said Miami would win 31-24. My heart said 27-24 Florida State. So. Should I be offended that I'm being called Lester from Grand Theft Auto? I've never played Grand Theft Auto. So
I don't know who that is, really.
Did FSU play this weekend? No, it was a bye week. We had 2 straight bye weeks.
Here's another one.
Our water boy. At this point, couldn't be worse. Brian W. says, as Miami fans, you both are way more entertaining than Miami fans. We've been saying that.
This is the most entertaining duo. Once Mark's back here, once we get him back going on the channel, this is the hottest show, no matter what.
B. Kurowski, got it.
There you go.
Female voice. Yes, I've heard that before. Sorry, we'll rent the YMCA and play the one hand behind your back. I bet you buy for
it. Bet you buy for it. What is this? I have drank a good amount, but I don't really. I'll be honest, Jason. I don't understand what that says.
Sorry, we will rent the YMCA. Oh, because it goes back to the rented stadiums. They're saying that they'll rent the YMCA and play with one hand behind their back and still beat us by 14 is what they were saying.
Mm-hmm. Here you go.
Can't get much worse. So far, we've had 2 different coaches.
Whoa.
No, we're not hiring Trump. That's not. No, I don't know, Brian. He's around somewhere. Maybe he just doesn't want to talk at 2:10 in the morning. Dante Lucas is still crying on the field. Probably. He's a Miami guy. He's probably didn't want to lose to his hometown team 2 years ago. So probably.
Man, I can't believe that at 2 a.m., Jason. I'll be honest. I mean, you got to say, 112 viewers. This is more than we usually get during the weekdays when we're previewing these big time games. But here we are. This is it. I mean, we told them that we would take care of the chat. We said we'd spend 10 minutes on the chat. And here we are after the loss. We're not ignoring the chat. It's here live. If anybody has anything else to say, but we're probably about to end it here. But here we go.
Tough loss. Thanks for coming on. Everybody knows how bad you guys feel after losses. And you know what's funny? And we'll leave it here at this point. One of the Miami people that I work with, who was a Miami graduate, I asked them when they were texting at halftime. I said, "Is this like the '97 game where we won 47-0?" He goes, "Yes, that's exactly what it feels like." So it's a new feeling. Florida State has never lost by 42 points to Miami, except for they lost by 47 points in 1976. But they've never lost. They've never given up 52 points. So salty, Jason. Yes, salty. LL, salty. So there we go, lose tonight because there's nothing left to review for FSU season. Hey, Tuesday we'll give you the complete recap of a
Jacksonville State game. We will give you the full recap and the full. No, we're not probably going to get preview Jacksonville State, but
we will give you the complete preview of that pillow fight you will ever need. So,
yeah,
complete on Sun Sports.
Yeah, getting some respect here. Getting some respect, Jason.
We are, and we do. And once again, as we've said before, it could be worse. We could all be Gators, but.
Here we go. Jason.
But which clown? Because you're a little clown too. So I think is that both of us clown?
Live stream that game. When does FSU go from here? When's their next step?
We'll talk more about that on Tuesday.
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. This has been nuts. We're at 120 views. I hate leaving so many good viewers on here. I hate doing it, but Jason's been at the game all night. Did you and give the props to the chat? Jason did not get his ass beat during this game.
But because what did one of these douchebags say? Well,
they said that they were going to meet you outside the stadium.
There was literally no security near our section. Section 327.
Yeah.
We will give you those final predictions come Tuesday at 7:00.
Jason, we are blown up with viewers. 122. This is absolutely insane. But
come back Tuesday, please.
Come back Tuesday. Jason the Gigolo.
Tuesday, we will give you all the recaps of everything. We will talk more about where does Florida State go from here, and we will also preview the battle with the Fighting Gamecocks of Jacksonville State.
We did. We took every heat. We said that we'd come back and do an instant reaction. It's 2:13 in the morning. I got to be up actually in about 4.5 hours. So really appreciate everybody coming in and listening. We go live every Tuesday night on this channel at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays with Jason. We're going to recap fully the Miami game. We're probably pretty much going to have a roundtable. We're not really going to preview the Jacksonville State game at this point. We're just going to discuss on what's going on. But like I said, we wanted to come on here and have an instant reaction, take on the chat. We kept our word. Here we are. This is what it is. Florida State is in a complete
dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's what it is right now. Florida State loses 52-10. And their Florida State takes on Jacksonville State at home this next Saturday. So really appreciate everybody listening. Make sure you hit that like button and smash that thing. And hope you guys have a good rest of y'all's weekend. Enjoy your NFL Sunday. And we will see you guys Tuesday night at 7 p.m. with me, Logan Robinson, and Jason Parker.
Go Ravens Monday night.
This is true. Ew, no. Go Steelers, baby. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the weekend. See you guys.
Later, guys.